today we are going to take a look at clutch number 3 from the year, which is my Pewter Pied and my Ultra Pied combo. So let's take a look. All right, so we had 5 babies in this clutch, and they're all actually all shed out at this point, except for this one right here, which is actually just the plain pied. Now, all these snakes are obviously pied, and 100% had Ultramel because the dad was an Ultra Pied, and the mom was a Pewter Pied. And I actually think I got 2 males and 3 females out of this clutch, which is actually pretty good odds. But I wanted to show you, this is kind of what I do with the snakes once they hatch out. I don't leave them in the incubator box because they end up getting substrate all over themselves. I keep them in one of the ARS tubs. I keep this paper towel on the bottom here soaking wet. Usually I have to change it one time before they shed. But as you can see, their first sheds come off here perfect without any trouble whatsoever. When I've put them like into a tub with a paper towel and it wasn't soaking wet, they usually have trouble shedding. So I just leave them in here together until they shed out. Once they shed, that's when I go ahead and separate them. I, get their genders and I label them, male, female, whatever. They have their IDs here where I just, this is the clutch Ultra Pied to Pewter Pied. They hatched on the 25th. This is the clutch 23-3. This is baby 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, 3-5. I'll put their genders on there. And then, like up here, I mark how many meals they take. Obviously, these ones have 3. And then I stop counting at that point because they just keep eating. So, what we have here, we have 2 that have cinnamon, 2 that are pastel, and one original pied. Let's see, here's the other cinnamon. So I only got 1 pewter here, but I got a pewter and a cinnamon, and I can show you the difference here between the pewter and the cinnamon. Let me actually get them out here on the table so you can see them a little better. Hopefully they'll sit still. These are actually both females. I don't think I'm going to keep them both. I might just keep the pewter, but we'll see. So this right here is the pewter, and this right here is just the cinnamon pied. As you can see here, if I can get this girl to get her head out, as you can see the difference here in their heads is that this one's really washed out. It's a lot lighter than this one. This one's pretty dark. Also, there's this little spot here on the tail, and it's really kind of grayed out. If you can see the spot on this girl's tail here, it's pretty dark. So what we have here is the pewter, which is pastel cinnamon pied, and this is just a regular cinnamon pied. And I'll probably end up keeping the pewter, but eventually this girl probably here, the cinnamon pied 100% het Ultramel, will probably end up going for sale. I haven't decided yet, but I think that's the way it's going to be. Now I'm going to label her as a snake 23 3-2. So she'll actually go in here in this tub now by herself. Um, I usually kind of label them like number 1 is the best snake, and then I kind of go down the line in terms of genetics. But I'm going to put her back because this is actually her tub. And this snake here, the regular pied, still hasn't shed yet. Now we have 2 pastel pieds here as well, and one of them's a male, which is this one here, and the other one's a female. I'll just kind of show you the difference here and how the patterns can kind of differentiate a lot here when you have just a single gene. If I can get this one unwrapped, this is a lower white, this is a higher white. There's just kind of a lot of variance, but you can definitely see the difference in pastel there. And I'll pull out the plain pied here to show you a difference, even though this is, for some reason, the only snake that didn't shed yet. Just a difference in what like a pastel looks like next to what a regular plain old pied looks like there. You can tell that these snakes are a lot more yellow than this. This has kind of like the more orangey brown colors. This plain pied het Ultramel is a male as well. So we have a male, a female, and a male. I will not be keeping any of these because I'll have enough pastel pied het Ultramels by the time my clutches are done hatching. Now this one I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. This is really small eyes. They look like they're fine, but their eyes are extremely small for some reason. I don't know if you can see these eyes next to those eyes there, the size difference. I have no idea they just came out like that. The snake looks completely healthy, but for some reason just has really tiny eyes. So, we'll take a look at that, but I don't think there's any issue with it. There are some times where you have snakes in certain complexes. I've seen some lessers that have smaller eyes too, especially when you mix them in the pied. So I don't know what's going on there because it's a plain pied, but all of these babies are 100% het Ultramel again, so they're pied het Ultramel. These two are pastel, and I have the other cinnamon. So once they get a few mils in their bellies, I'll probably be listing them on Morph Market. But really pretty snakes. I'll probably end up having 4 more clutches of stuff that's pied het Ultramel by the time the season's done. I actually have 1 in the incubator now and 2 that should be laid soon. So yeah, this is really exciting. I am glad, kind of trying to get some new genes into the UltraPied project. Um, so far, I have that female that I hatched last week that's Super OD Fire Leopard Pied Het Ultramel. She's a female. This girl here is a Pewter Pied, which is pastel cinnamon, and she's 100% Het Ultramel. So I don't know if I have any other different genes that are going to be going into it this year, but I will probably be producing more of similar things because the sire to this clutch was an ultra pied, but my other male, that's the Leo OD Firefly Ultramel het pied, he's actually sired quite a few clutches. So I'm gonna have quite a few snakes that are gonna have hopefully OD, leopard, and firefly in them at some point. So should have a lot of snakes coming up in the next few months here for the Ultramel project. No visual ultra pieds to begin the year, but I should actually have some later in the year because I have a pied het Ultramel female that should be up to size at that point. So yeah, really exciting stuff. This is clutch 3. I have 2 in the incubator right now. I think I have at least 5 that are due to be laid in the month of April. So it's going to be an extremely busy month. And then in June, they're due to hatch. I'm probably going to end up having just 30 or 40 snakes hatch around the same time, which is going to be a lot of work. So we'll definitely be pushing sales here in the next coming months. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.